Broken Rule, the second book in the River Rule series by Amita Davis. Reviews for the Forerunner, River Rule. What's beautiful about talking to Jo today about the River Rule series and what she's read is the fact that she knows the place, the setting of Kalmashvali. You read the first book, and what did you think about it? What did you think about River Rule?
But when I read the book, I could so identify with that place, with that girl. And Una was, I could understand what she was feeling and how it was for her to be there, to be thrown in that place quite literally, So it was just like, it was something that you were just telling me again with so much more drama. It was intriguing. I loved it. That's what I enjoyed most about it, And at once I said, no, I can read this. And I just went from page to page, in no time at all. If you remember, I told you how fast I went through the book. It was a fast read, And that I like the pace of the book very much. And I liked it. I like the magic which you infused in it. I'm a bit of, it doesn't have to be all real. There has to be something magical about it. I need to lose myself in it. And that's what I felt there. I just loved it. I loved the story in the woods. It was like going down memory lane, yeah. Despite all of the magic, all of the difference in the story, which really, I mean, obviously that wasn't what we were or any of the things that we did. But still, it was like being there. It was like being there.
Okay, so we talked about Una being the main protagonist, and then there is Avi.
I love Una because she shows all of the unsureties that she feels inside, but her actions are not like that because she wants to show the world that I can do it, and she does it. That's how we are. That's what I like. So it's very easy. That's why I said that it's easy to identify with the characters, especially Una.
Yeah, I felt like she represented every one of us young women who we are so many things in at the same time.
So I think you have a huge plethora of audiences out there, with this book.
With the second book, I've not put the YA thing because actually, it, as you said, I mean, it went up to people who were in their 60s and 70s.
Yeah, right, right. You made your book grow in that way,
Yeah.
And even those who have read the first one will find themselves that they're growing with the book as they read the whatever comes next and everything. And I like it how exotic it is. The book is exotic.
I love that word, exotic.
Yeah.
So hence that's why I sent it to you before it was even the second book, Broken Rule, before it was even edited. Because you're quite passionate person, but you're also quite truthful. So if you don't like something, you're going to tell me.
Yes, absolutely. I told you, I think. I did tell you something.
You did, and you've already told me what's happening in the third book.
It might sound negative to somebody, but what I feel is that the book needs to get under your skin.
So if I asked you, okay, so Broken Rule starts off, and without giving too much of the story, I mean, how quickly were you able to get into it? At what point did you get into the book very quickly?
I did from the very start. Because I was like, how is Una getting out of this pit? I was like, what's going on here? How is she getting out of this? Who is going to get her out? Is Avi coming there? And I really don't want to say anything more than that.
Yeah. And she's not actually in the best of places, is she? There's a bit of...
No, I was uncomfortable. And I just wanted to quickly move on, And she was, I just wanted the situation to change. So I was hooked immediately. It was a dynamic start. It was like as if the climax was happening right in the very first chapter. It was like that.
Oh, this is I don't know if I told you this either. The first chapter of River Rule was actually the last chapter I wrote for the first book.
Oh my God.
And guess who inspired me? It was you.
Ooh.
It was you.
Oh my God.
Because the first chapter was actually 3 chapters in. And the first chapter inspired me because I was actually going to Dehradun, which is where Kalmushwali is.
Yes.
And,
Yes.
And
From our place. From our place.
I was at your place. And you said to me, I mean, I can give this out. And you said to me, oh, be very careful. Don't get into a taxi.
Yes. Yes, I told you about that incident.
Yeah. Don't go to Missouri. You know, be very, very careful. And I said, oh, yeah, no, it's a family company. And
yes, I remember my husband and I warning you and telling you about, what had happened.
And what had happened.
Because they were so close to us. Those people were so close to us.
And those people then made it into my book.
Yeah, right.
Something I'd even thought about. That, you know, I had no twist like that in my head at all. My book was starting with Uber.
Life is really stranger than fiction. Life is really strange.
Life is strange.
You really don't know where you draw your inspirations and how they become a part of your life. You know?
You know what's the even scarier bit was, you said that this girl, somebody stopped the taxi driver and a guy got on and said, oh, we're going up there. So, and the couple agreed.
Yes.
And I'm not joking. When I went to Missouri with my taxi driver,
right.
Somebody stopped the taxi.
Oh my God. Oh my.
And luckily, and he said he's the owner.
All of it would have played out in your head.
That played out in my head. How you said the characters, I mean, and we haven't talked about Wolf yet, and maybe we won't talk so much about him because so it's a sort of a triangle and a very uncomfortable triangle. But what
I like him sometimes. I can't make up my mind. Even after reading Broken Rule, I can't make up my mind.
About what?
I like Wolf sometimes.
Yeah.
I can't make my mind about him. You know,
I enjoyed him.
I shouldn't like him, but I like him. I like the way I like his personality, you know. So forget the things he does, but I like him. He's attractive.
Yeah.
Sometimes he beats Abhi.
I was writing, I wanted that tension, but I felt, see, the other thing about when you're writing a book is you don't actually, you know what you want to write, but actually what you write isn't what you thought you were going to write.
Yes.
When it was almost like he was sitting across me on this dining table and saying,
and were you impressed with him yourself as a writer? Were you also impressed with him?
I was. I mean, I actually, he brings a smile to my face. It's like, it's really difficult to, you know, there's this wicked side, but it's
a dark character and you don't want to be on his side, but you are sometimes.
Yeah.
You know, you want to stand by him. Yeah, you want to stand by him.
Yeah, because he makes sense. He makes logical sense. And I think that's the thing. He's very, you can be easily swayed by, yeah, that sounds about right. I mean, that's how I would do it. That's how I feel. And that is a priority.
Because dark is to look at things as they are and not to attach anything to it. You know, just be very cryptic and just look at it as it is, right? And then we call it dark, right? Because we don't like it. We don't like anything as it is, right? We always want to do things to it. So maybe that's what attracts.
And you never know, he surprises you because you never know if he's going to do what you expect him. There's that unexpected feel about him. But if you had to meet one of the characters, which one would you like to meet? And what would you say to them?
Oh my God, I don't want to say this. I would like to meet Wolf.
You'd like to meet who?
Wolf. I think I'm half in love with Wolf. And for me, he looks like something else altogether. So I don't know, if I told you what he looked like, he would be damn good looking. So just forget it.
Of course they got damn good looking. I mean, the picture...
strong, good looking, you know?
Yeah.
I would tell him to be nice, but then you have Abhi to do that.
Yeah. Although, but then he's awkward. Avi is
He
a
is,
person who doesn't quite fit. Um, he doesn't even quite fit in, you know, even for me as a writer.
could he even cross over to our world? He couldn't. Yeah.
You get a sense that Avi would have been better off in, he's always misplaced. So you never get a sense of, you haven't seen him yet because he's misplaced, which is how a lot of people feel. Like, you know, they can't be everything they want to be. They know they're better than the situation or the position they're in, but it doesn't come through.
But maybe that's an aspect you would be adding up in No Rule, probably.
Yeah.
No Rule it is.
Yeah. The third book is No Rule. So yeah, it's a bit bizarre having been an ex-teacher that I keep talking about breaking rules, and then there's no rule at all. We went from she broke one rule to she broke the rule, like the rule, and then there's no rule. So you can imagine what my classroom must have been like.
We're moving up, definitely not down.
So did you said earlier to me that you felt there was a sense of maturity as they're going through. So can you talk about that again for everybody else's benefit?
You know, I felt that when Broken Rule starts and the situation that Una finds herself in, and how you've showed, you know, what she's thinking and what she's planning. She has a plan. She doesn't know if it's going to work. She has a plan and she has an expectation. So there is from people who are outside, and she does expect that somebody is waiting for her. That tone is definitely there with a V in her mind, right? She has an expectation from Wolf, you know, and I felt that that was maturity, because there was a lot of uncertainty in River Rule. It wasn't like that there. You understand? There was just discovery. In River Rule, there was just discovery, you know, and there was a lot of surprise at what was happening. You understand? But which in this book, they knew what to expect. So they had grown in that way, is what I felt. Yeah. Even Wolf, he was more determined to do this and do that, and he came across as more powerful than he did in the previous book.
Yeah. I mean, I mean, did you get a sense of
and Grace was definitely more defined. Yeah. And so I was like, I don't like this lady. You know, I could instantly, you understand?
Yeah.
And when I was reading the earlier book, it was like you are discovering,
yeah,
you know, the characters as you go along. So you never felt that certainty. So that certainty is what I felt brought that maturity to this book.
Did you get a sense of being back at school in the library?
In the first book, I had a lot of such moments, most definitely. And in the second one, not always, sometimes. Yes, in the library, of course. You know, you remember a library? Dark.
Yeah.
Pin drop silence. Dark.
Yeah. But it was based on the
But I have spent so many hours in the library, much more than anybody could have in school, I think. I spent a lot of time there. Yeah.
I mean, there's also the shaman, you know, there's a temple, there's always a temple and a shaman if it's mystical. I mean, what did you think of him?
Could there be a group? Could he be a putting together of the qualities of our teachers? You know, of our instructors, not just ours, anybody's, of lessons in life, probably. That's a teacher too. You know, yeah. There could be so many, for me, I could say that our teachers, our instructors. Somebody else could say it could be a putting together of lessons in life. And this is that person which comes forward.
As easy as following the river like we did.
Yeah, right. Not so easy. On four wheels.
So, I mean, for me, it's the greatest compliment when somebody actually feels they can paint something based on what you've written, and does it so well and captures what I felt when I was writing it. Because when you are writing something, you actually, I mean, if somebody, I'm sure if I ever get dementia at the end, I'm going to think they existed because I've lived in their world for so long. And I
Yeah.
think about them all the
Oh,
time. And for somebody else to capture exactly how I felt is just so unique. And go on, tell us a bit about. I mean, there might be other authors out there who would love to have the same
you
experience.
know,
Tell me
you
about
know,
your art
what
gallery.
what I felt with your book was, even while we are talking about it, I can feel the book is so, it's picturesque, and I can see it, you know. So it's not just that you feel their emotions and you go, through the depths and highs of whatever they are going through and everything, but I can see it the way the book plays out, you know. So it's like I told you, it's like a screenplay. That's what's most, it's riveting, and that's what's enjoyable about the book. It needs to be like a screenplay. When you're reading it,
Yeah.
it should play out before your eyes, even even if those are words that you're, you know turning as you're turning every page. That's what I felt.
Because I felt that when I was doing the first book, and a couple of people said, "Oh, why don't you give it over to a screenplay?" When I came to write the second one, I was more aware of adding more dialogue, because I think in the first one there was much more
Thought.
description.
Yes.
So the
Yes.
second one is run mostly by dialogue, I think, and perhaps a little less description.
Yes.
And that is, as you said, because
But the conversation is also such, it helps you to see them. That's what's important, I felt,
yeah.
really important for a reader to be able to see it. It's like your vision being projected in words. It's viewable. The book is viewable.